Hello everyone, today I'm going to share some quick tips on basic Blender functions. If you're interested in a complete tutorial on the super basics of Blender, check out Ben Hoffman's channel. He has just released a tutorial on that exact topic. Now let's get started. As you can see, Blender has a lot of different areas for different functions. And let's say you want to adjust the render settings over here. Right now, as you can see, aspect ratio, the letters are kind of cut off. So if you want to maximize it, you can do that by hovering your mouse over the area you want to maximize and hit Ctrl up arrow. Now the area fills the whole viewport. You can get out of that by hitting Ctrl down arrow. And you can do that with every view in Blender. For instance, let's say we want to maximize the 3D view, hover the mouse over the area, hit Ctrl up arrow, and it gets maximized, Ctrl down arrow, we get back again. If you want to learn more about all the different Blender keyboard shortcuts, there's a cool site called waldobranchard.be/Blender keyboard. And it shows you an overview about of all the different shortcuts. And the cool thing is, if you hit Ctrl on your keyboard, the display gets adjusted and you see all the shortcuts that are, for instance, Ctrl A. And you can do the same thing with Ctrl Shift or Alt. And I'm going to share the link to this page in the description. Back to Blender. Let me add Suzanne, because I want to show something about edit mode. Now, normally, if we're in edit mode and we move one of those points around, it really only moves this single point, which kind of looks ugly for some organic shape like Suzanne. But Blender has a cool feature called proportional editing. We can activate that down here. And now, if we move that single point, several connected points get moved along with it. And with your mouse wheel, you can adjust how many points get influenced by this movement. And that's a cool feature to kind of edit a mesh in an organic way. The final tip for today is about animation. Normally, if we select a cube and we want to animate it, we can insert a keyframe manually by pressing I on the keyboard and select location, rotation, scale to add a keyframe for that. And jump up 30 frames, move it around, insert another keyframe, and now if you play the animation with Alt A, it moves around. Of course, if we wanted to adjust a longer animation and we had to insert manually a keyframe for every single adjustment that we make, that would take a while. Luckily, Blender has a auto keyframe feature. You can activate it by pressing this little red dot down here, and from that moment on, whenever you make an adjustment to the cube, there is a new keyframe created. You can see the keyframes down here in the timeline represented by yellow lines. Now play back the animation and it goes up and down again. Now let's say you have messed up your keyframes and you want to reposition them. You can do that in the dope sheet view. You can activate it down here, dope sheet. And this view is similar to the way keyframes get adjusted in After Effects, in case you have ever seen After Effects or worked with it. You can here select a keyframe, press G to move it, or select several keyframes and press S to scale them, or select a single one and hit X to delete them. Now if we go back to 3D view and play the animation, the last keyframe is gone and the cube doesn't move down. That's all for today, and I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful, and goodbye.